Welcome to 3D comparison. So let's take a look over here how we can import large STLs within CATIA V5. So as you can see, this will be the case study. This is from Artec. And we see over here the following car. Now we see that the underside of the car has not been 3D scanned, but we do have this ground floor where the car was positioned during the scanning. Now, if you follow my channel, you'll know that over here within CATIA Digital Shape Editor, we have the possibility to import files. But when we are importing 3D scans, so elements that have not been passed through, let's say, Blender, it's important over here to set the file size over here within millimeters. If I would, for example, set this to be within meters, if I'm going to hit apply, we're going to see that CATIA will give us the following notification. So the dimension of the data to import exceeds the dimension of the working space. In this case, we see that the maximum scale factor available is 0.15. Do you want to apply this scale to import and adjust? So if I'm going to click yes, we're going to see now that CATIA will load this. At the same time, this will also be scaled at 0.15. And it will take a little bit of time to import this, but this is regardless of the scaling that is being applied, since the model is quite high. Now, if I'm going to click OK, we do have the model imported. And if I'm going to go within information, if I'm going to click the 3D scan in this case, we're going to have within the information panel the statistics loaded. And we do see that in this case, the dimensions for this are really high. So we see over here for the length, for the width, and for the height. Now, I'm just going to delete this. And I'm going to import this again. And I'm just going to set the scale factor to 1. I'm going to go over here to millimeters. And I will import this once again. We're going to see that that notification will no longer appear. So in this case, CATIA will just import this STL file at the true size. The loading time will be similar. So as you can see, if you're going to apply a scaling, that will not influence. And now if I'm going to go within the information panel, I do have the possibility to see over here within the statistics, the exact values from the 3D scan. And as we can see for this car, we do have the length, which is over here, 4.5 meters. We do have over here the width, which will be, in this case, this dimension, and this will be the height. Keep in mind that for the height, this will give us, let's say, the minimum point over here and one over here on the maximum. Now, as you can see, we do have this mesh over here, but if I would to convert this, for example, to have it as a step file, this 3D scan will have some problems, and those problems are over here on the underside of the car. As we can see, this has not been fully scanned, and we do have a lot of elements that are not linked together. For example, we see over here the wheels. Those are separated elements from the main chassis. And if I'm going to go within Mesh Doctor, I want to analyze this mesh. We're going to see that in this case, this will give us the statistics if we have any problems within the mesh. Keep in mind that this was extracted over here directly from Artec. So we see over here, this was 3D scan with Artec Leo. This is also quite an old scan. So we see over here a scanning time, the reconstruction time, and the overall processing. And in this case, we see that there are no problems. But if I'm going to go within structures, this is where the problem will appear. If I'm going to go over here within split in connected zones, we're going to see that most of the underside of the car will have the following problems. So if I'm going to go over here and I want to group those within distinct elements, as soon as I'm going to click apply, this will be separated over here within the product tree. We're still going to have the initial mesh that was imported as an STL. That will remain as a separate element over here. And I can hide that. So this is the original STL. I can right click, hide this. And after that, depending on the size of the components, the first one will be largest. In this case, this will be the main chassis of the car. And as you can see, this chair is not connected to the main car body over here. And this is also divided between two elements. And after that, we're going to have, in this case, we see the ground floor, which will also be linked with quite a high amount of wheels over here. As you can see, if I'm just going to hide this, all of those wheels. Actually, the tire is connected to the floor and those will be linked together. And over here, we do have something from the dashboard that is also individual. In this case, this chair will also have two components. I can go ahead and I can hide those over here manually. And the other components, for example, we also have over here a small shape. As you can see, this will only be defined by few triangles. So this is why we can't convert directly a scan like this that hasn't been fully filled. And if you follow my channel, you know that within my previous videos, I showcased some models that were created using generative AI. And a really important thing about 3D models, if you want to convert this within CAD, it's quite mandatory to have a fully filled mesh, and then you can easily convert that automatically. In this case, if you're going to use a reference like this, most 3D scans will not be fully filled. So you can still use them as references, and you can go ahead and you can create the surfaces within CATIA based on those references. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this kind of content. You're going to find additional CATIA V5 tips and tricks over here within the playlist. And if you enjoy this kind of content, you can consider to subscribe. You're going to find the button over here on the right. So that's it. Thanks for watching.